I'm about to say some pretty flagrant stuff in this video. So, like, don't take anything too seriously. These were just thoughts one day.
Who let the dope boys out? Thank God you let me crash on your couch. Who's my God that I'm praying to now? Early 2000s, they try to jump
I find it weird that people hold artists accountable for the decisions that their viewers make. I'm mostly talking about film and television here. But in any medium of art, artists are kind of just making work for themselves. Yeah, even if they're a big name artist and they know a lot of people are going to see it, their work is still probably personal to themselves. Art is created with intent, but not necessarily for you, the viewer. It kind of bothers me when people point to art and get offended by what they see. It's kind of similar to that whole idea back in the day that if your kid plays violent video games, they're going to grow up to be a school shooter or something. And my opinion on that hasn't changed since I was a kid playing violent video games. I always just thought, yeah, of course, we're just training to shoot up the school. I have to make it abundantly clear that that's a joke. But seriously, I always thought if you're willing to go Nick Cruz, then maybe it wasn't the GTA and Kane and Lynch that drove you there. And bringing it back to art and movies, I don't really think you can blame a shitty show for your bad decisions. People have their own agency. I think we all have some sort of free will. The main shows that I'm thinking about right now are the ones like 13 Reasons Why and Euphoria. And honestly, I haven't seen Euphoria, so I'm going to mostly talk about 13 Reasons Why now. A lot of people seem to have problems with these shows that depict teenagers going through mental health struggles. And trust me, I know it's a sensitive topic. I have friends and people in my life that have dealt with all this kind of stuff. But listen, when I watched 13 Reasons Why, I never really saw it as romanticizing suicide. But I also didn't really see it as an awareness piece. Mostly to me, Hannah's suicide was kind of just something that was part of the plot that propelled the story forward. Yeah, I know, I probably sound like I have no heart. I also think the creators of the show actually wanted it to have some sort of deep meaning about how we need to treat people better and how sexual assault is wrong. And yeah, you kind of get that across, but as the seasons go on, it's pretty clear that you just keep adding and adding and adding on just for the shock factor. I think people need to critically think about the things that they're watching. Like, yeah, no shit, Hannah created the tapes and offed herself as like this act of revenge. But where in the show is it portrayed as a good thing, like it's a justified action? In all honesty, the show kind of actually makes me dislike Hannah for the most part. I honestly don't think it's the creator's fault if someone takes from the show, hey, let me do what Hannah did. It might be different if Hannah was held up as this high character that, you know, like what she was doing was right, but she's not. It just tears everyone around her apart. It shows how bad suicide is. Even if she was portrayed as good, I don't think it's the artist's fault for any of the viewers' actions. I mean, look at Alex in A Clockwork Orange. He's the protagonist, and he's about as bad as you can get. And he doesn't really change all that much throughout the whole movie, at least not in his own accord. Have you seen The Devil All the Time? Everybody in that movie's pretty much a piece of shit. If you want a good take on suicide, listen to Neon Gravestones by 21 Pilots. Don't watch 13 Reasons Why. So I haven't seen Euphoria, but I know it's got like drug addiction battles and all that, so I'm just going to talk about another movie that gets criticized for romanticizing drug addiction. The Wolf of Wall Street. When this movie came out, I was 11, and as a kid, I was like a really goody two-shoes. I didn't watch anything R-rated unless I was told I was allowed to. It just felt wrong. You didn't do it. I was too young. But when Leonardo DiCaprio hit the big screen playing a wealthy and debaucherous Jordan Belfort, I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I sat down on the couch next to my parents to watch this movie. I was instantly thrown into the money, sex, drugs, this lifestyle that Jordan was living. One of the first scenes of the movie is Jordan like doing coke out of some hooker's asshole. My mom turned to my dad with a worried expression like, what's this movie rated? My dad replied R, and she was like, okay, I guess.
That's right. On the daily, I take enough drugs to sedate all of Manhattan, Long Island, and Queens for a whole month. I take 10 to 15 Quaaludes a day for my back pain, Adderall to keep me focused. Then I take it shattered that shit. We already fucked it up now, so it's part of it, bro. We're gonna put this in too. No, we're gonna put this in. Xanax to calm me down, pot to mellow me out, cocaine to wake me back up, and morphine, because it's fucking awesome.
I did enjoy the movie at the time, and watching it now that I'm older, it's still a really good movie, and I appreciate it even more. A lot of the film does revel in the illegal money-making and infidelities of Jordan Belfort, but I don't think the overarching message is that Jordan's right. In the end, he loses his family, he faces jail time, albeit a pretty nice prison. He loses his reputation, which he only gets back after he does more honorable actions. Jordan Belfort himself would caution against his lifestyle, but still so many dude bros get from the movie, bro, look, he's doing coke at work. That shit's so cool. I'm gonna go crush up my antidepressants and snort it and be just like him. Should Scorsese or Belfort really be blamed for that? People get the wrong or different message from art all the time. They misinterpret and come up with what they think fits their life the best. Half of the analysis from English teachers probably wasn't the writer's intended original message, but we still learn it. I love Fight Club, but a lot of people love Fight Club for very different reasons than I do. Like all the dude bros that think Tyler is the epitome of man. He's the dopest character out there fighting against the emasculation of fucking society. Fighting back against the emasculation of men in society, and he's so cool, he's beating people up. Listen, I'm not going to discount the themes of emasculation throughout the movie, but they don't get at why these people are being emasculated. All these guys want to fight against the big man, but they also don't know the difference between Anonymous and QAnon. Can't wait till they find out the writer of the book is gay also. The movie's about the horrors of consumerism and capitalism. That's what leads to the emasculation. And so many of these dude bros clearly don't get that because they're simultaneously huge Republicans that love capitalism. And they only like it because they think they're going to grow up to be rich one day. Honestly, the reason I still believe in capitalism. Art gets interpreted differently by everybody. The artist shouldn't get blamed for the fucked up mind of a viewer.
Don't you shy away.